now call to order the Wytheville Town Council meeting, Monday, April 14, 2025, at 6 p.m., held in the Municipal Building at 150 East Monroe Street in Wytheville. At this time, Vice Mayor Johnson requests to join visually, so I will need a motion.
So moved, Madam Mayor.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion? Right here, none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye as well. Any opposed? None there. So she is welcome to join. Next, we do have a quorum. We will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilman Joseph Hand, Jr.
I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now I'll need approval for this evening's agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, here none. This is a roll call vote. Can we do Kathy?
Yes. Yes, she's
Vice Mayor?
Yes. Johnson, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Patterson, aye.
Joseph Hand, aye.
All right. Just part of business, there'll be a recess at 7 o'clock if needed. Next on the is the consent agenda, which consists of the minutes of the special meeting of March 18, 2025, minutes of the regular meeting of March 24, 2025, and minutes of the work session on March 25, 2025. I need a motion to accept as presented or somehow amended.
I move that we approve the minutes of March 18th, March 24th, and March 25th.
All right, have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Right here, none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. Next is citizens period. At this point, we do not have anybody to come up and speak for that. So we'll move forward. Next on the agenda is to consider the request of District 3 Governmental Cooperative for waiver of fees for the use of Withers Park on Thursday, June 12, 2025, to hold the Senior Day in the Park event. If anybody has any questions, Town Manager Moore can answer those for us before we go on, but I think everybody's familiar with that event, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so do we want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion, Madam Mayor.
All right, so I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, here none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? That motion passes. Next is to consider the request of the American Association of University Women for a raffle permit for calendar year 2025. I think council is familiar with them coming in every year to get this permit. I don't see anybody representing them today, so do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second, Madam Mayor.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Right here, none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. The next part of this agenda is a lot to do with the Arts Council, and they have 6 things in here, and I am going to just give a brief go around of all 6, and then we're going to vote them all together. Is everybody okay with that? Okay. All right, so the first one is to consider the request of the Wytheville Arts Council for a raffle permit for calendar year 2025. The second one is to consider the request of Wytheville Arts Council for traffic control on Saturday, June 25th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. to conduct the Chautauqua Parade. The next is to consider the request of the Wythe Arts Council for traffic control on Saturday, June 21st, 2025, at 8:30 a.m. to conduct the Chautauqua Kids Fun Run. The next one is to consider the request of the Wythe Arts Council for traffic control on Saturday, June 28, 2025, at 6:30 a.m. to conduct the Chautauqua 5K. And the last one is to consider the request of the Wythe Arts Council for traffic control on Friday, June 20th, 2025 through Sunday, June 22nd, 2025 to conduct the Chautauqua Balloon Glow. And there is one more. Consider the various requests of the Wythe Arts Councils regarding the Chautauqua Festival that was in your packet. So do we have a motion?
Madam Mayor, I would like to make a motion that we accept all of the permits for the Wythe Arts Council.
All right, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any questions or discussion this time?
No, ma'am.
All right, here are none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? All right, all 6 of those requests have been approved. Next on the agenda is to consider ordinance number 1448, an ordinance amending and reenacting ordinance number 1028, generally known as Personnel Rules, Regulations, and Policies of the Town of Wytheville, Virginia, so as to amend and reenact Section 5, Leaves of Absence, subsection 5.10, Inclement Weather Leave Policy. If Mr. Moore would be glad to give us an update on that. Does anybody have any questions or concerns? Or Mr. Moore, do you have anything to say on this?
Only if there are questions. I'd be glad to try to answer them.
All right, so I'm not hearing any questions. So we need a consideration of town council to adopt the ordinance 1448 on first and final reading. So I need a motion.
So moved.
So moved.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, this will be a roll call vote. Start with Vice Mayor. Roll call.
Johnson, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Addison, aye.
Hand, aye.
All right, that's unanimous. That passes. Next on the agenda is for us to schedule a public hearing to consider the request of Michael Waller for a special exemption permit to allow a homestay used for a property located at 1340 West Main Street called the Better Way Warehouse Incorporated, tax parcel 41A-7-44-7B in an M1 industrial zoning district, and to approve a deviation to the required parking regulations located on the parcel identified as tax parcel 41A-7-44-14B. Ms. Holton, would you like to give us a little on that, please?
Thank you. So at the last Planning Commission meeting on Thursday, the Planning Commission did consider this request. It's actually a two-part request. This evening, the Town Council, all you need to do is schedule the public hearing. And so what will happen is at your May meeting, you will host the public hearing, and then you will consider the request. And I can provide another staff report at that time. But if you have any questions in between now and then, please feel free to call my office, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you very much.
All right, so any questions at this point? We need a consideration by Town Council to schedule a public hearing at 6 p.m. or as soon thereafter as possible for the May 12th, 2025 Town Council meeting to receive public comments regarding this special exception permit. I need a motion.
So moved,
So
Madam.
moved.
All right, I have a motion, one, and a second by the other. So a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Right, here none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well, so that public hearing has been set. Next coming up on the agenda is Ms. Corbin.
Yes, and I have several upcoming meetings. The first is a council work session will be held on Tuesday, April 15th at 4 p.m. here in the council chambers. The Wytheville Economic Development Authority will meet on Wednesday, April 16th at 9 a.m. here in the council chambers. The Wytheville Redevelopment and Housing Authority will meet on Wednesday, April 16th at 12 noon at the Housing Authority office. The New River Regional Water Authority will meet on Thursday, April 17th at 10 a.m. at the water plant in Austinville. The Town of Wytheville Municipal Office will be closed and all services curtailed on Friday, April 18th in observance of the Good Friday holiday. The Downtown Wytheville Board of Directors will meet on Monday, April 21st at 5:30 at the Downtown Wytheville office. The Joint Industrial Development Authority of Wythe County will meet on Thursday, April 24th at 3 p.m. here in the council chambers. The Arbor Day celebration will be held on Friday, April 25th at 10 a.m. at the Jackson property located on Tazewell Street. And the next regular scheduled meeting of the Wytheville Town Council will be held on Monday, April 28th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. And that's all I have, Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Corbin? All right. Next under our agenda is other business, and it will be discussion regarding the town manager position. Attorney is going to.
Madam Mayor, Mr. French authorized the following joint statement from the town. The town of Wytheville and Curtis French were unable to reach an agreement. The town of Wytheville and Mr. French wish each other the very best in their future endeavors.
Thank you. All right, moving on with the agenda is council member time, and I'll start with Mr. Hand. Do you have anything, council member time?
Just one quick thing. I did have a rec commission meeting this past week, and I was just really impressed with all the work that they're doing with all the kids. It's just really impressive. Just want to take a minute to tell them thank you and how much I appreciated that. And that's all I have, Madam Mayor.
All right. Benson?
Don't have anything at this time.
And I will pass as well.
Yay, me too, believe it or not. I did actually reach out to Mr. Moore and Ms. Corbin on some things, but they are supposed to look into, so write that down.
That is you, Ms. Vice Mayor.
I do not have anything, and I'd like to thank our IT department for making it possible for me to attend via Zoom. I thank them for their hard work today and getting everything set up.
Thank you.
Okay. And is there anything else, Sherry, that you know needs to be discussed here this evening?
I think that's it.
All right, so at this time, council feels it necessary to go into a closed meeting pursuant to 2.2-3711A.5. Discussion regarding prospective businesses or industries. I will need a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I hear none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. I don't think we need a recess, so we are now in a closed session. Okay. It is now necessary to reconvene into open session by stating that the town council is now in open session. A motion is necessary to certify that only matters lawfully convening to the open session were discussed. So I need a motion, please.
So moved, Madam Mayor.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, here none. This will be a roll call vote. Mr. Hand?
Aye.
Patterson, aye.
Taylor, aye?
Atkins, aye.
Johnson, aye.
All right. So we are now luckily in open session, and you're welcome to come back up to the podium and give us something to be happy about.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I didn't speak in open session before, so I should probably introduce myself. I'm David Manley with the Joint Industrial Development Authority of Wythe County, and we are the point economic development organization for Wythe County, the towns of Wytheville and town of Wytheville and town of Retreat. I did bring a couple handouts tonight for which I don't have a formal presentation, but I invite y'all to look through these. If you have questions, please follow up directly with me or through staff or however you'd like to do that. One is economic indicators. I've been tracking these specific things for, I guess this is the 11th year now. Just to give a third-party sort of dispassionate look at how our economy's doing. There are different, I think it's 6 different things that are tracked in there. The other is just our annual report from 2024, just a retrospective of what we worked on last calendar year. And just want to make sure y'all had these.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor, Ms. Corbin's going to keep you one.
Okay.
And Madam Mayor, I believe there was some interest in the status of the Blue Star project.
That's correct.
I'm happy to address that. Blue Star project, pursuant to the performance agreement, has still a little under 2 years to perform. We still have weekly calls with the CEO and CFO every Wednesday morning. They've been working, I would say, doubly hard. They foresee some new opportunities with the change in administration. That was the origination of this project. So without, I try not to speak on anybody's behalf, but they are working very hard to align public and private sector funding priorities and opportunities with their continued desire to still move the project forward here. So traction, my short answer to anybody that asks is it's idle, but it's not dead. And we're optimistic yet.
Were there other entities like that throughout the country that got cut as well?
If I'm not mistaken, there were either 7 or 8 companies that participated in this Defense Department funneled funding to build up PPE manufacturing in the U.S. Blue Star is actually the only one that completed its first phase. The other ones are either defunct or abandoned their projects. Blue Star actually
gloves.
Blue Star completed its first phase in May of 2023, which a lot of people have missed. There's a 3-story facility out there on Lot 24 in Progress Park. So there is still opportunity to kickstart that, I think. And they're still making every effort, the best I can tell, to make that happen.
Was that at the state level or the federal level that we're hoping?
Federal. And I'll add one more thing. The wide perception is that this was all a grant-funded project. And while largely the phase 1 was funded by grants, they've always planned for debt equity financing to carry the weight for the building of the glove facilities. And they're still pursuing that.
Anybody have any questions?
Thank y'all for having
Anything
me.
else you want to share with us?
I think I've shared too much tonight.
Well, we really appreciate you coming in.
Anytime.
And
I'm happy, Madam Mayor, happy to come to this or work sessions just anytime y'all want me to. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
My pleasure.
Be safe.
Thank you, Mr. Manley.
Thank you.
All right, is there any other business to come before council this evening? All right, hearing none, we are adjourned.